Hello?
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah, speaking.
Hey, this is Rocky. I run Crooksville News.
Mm-hmm.
I was just curious what the issue is.
Well, you are doing something that's highly illegal, and I just thought I'd give you the heads up that what you're doing is putting yourself in a liability perspective because it's also a felony. Because if you take stuff from the sheriff's website and post it like you are on your website, that becomes a criminal matter and a civil matter that you're liable for.
Have you called the sheriff's department to report me?
I can, if that's the way you want me to go, because what you're doing is illegal.
I would appreciate it if you do that. That would be wonderful.
Why would you want to do that?
Because I want to hear.
No, I will report it to the Attorney General's office. I won't deal with the local piece of shit, Perry County. I'll report it to the Attorney General's office, who actually wrote that law for the sheriff's departments to follow. But they don't want to do that, so I'll report it to the Attorney General's office. That's the ones that will take the complaint. Huh?
So what do you think the Attorney General is going to do about it?
I know what they're going to do about it because I reported it to the generals, and they've got yanked for it. I know what they're going to do because I reported this before. If
you can get me to take down a single one, I'll give you $100, and I can do that today.
No, here's the thing is, okay, I personally was on that register a long time ago. I sued a journalist and won $1.5 million. I'm not on that registry anymore, but I know what the liability is. It's not worth the $100. It's worth me seeing you get in rotten hell because of what you're doing is you're destroying people's lives. Just because they've done something wrong don't mean you need to continue to harass them. That is a form of harassment.
That's your opinion.
No, that is the law. Read that.
No,
read the website on the sheriff that you check before you get the registry. You have to check that you agree to these terms and conditions. It's right there in the middle that says you will not use this to harass. It's only for personal. You will not repost. It's for personal use only. You are reposting it. You are doing things that's illegal. I'll address it, snapshot it, and send it to the Attorney General's office and have them investigate it. And I hope you get the criminal charges because it's like a level 2 felony. It's a form of harassment.
Yeah.
No, seriously, go Google, go look at it. I'm giving you the opportunity to fix your mistake before you get in trouble.
I've been posting sex offenders since 2017. Do you think I've not
already addressed it? Nobody knows the law, and I'm sitting here. I'm going to inform these people. Everybody you post, I'm going to contact them directly and say, hey, do you know what they're doing to you is illegal? And I'm going to inform these sex offenders and let them know that they can come after you liability-wise.
So
I hope you got great liability insurance.
I do have great liability insurance.
When you get 5 or 10 of these guys suing you, you think your insurance company is going to stick around with you?
I don't care if they do or not. I have insurance to cover all that.
That's not liability insurance covers that. That's intentional. That's intentional breaking the law.
I have secondary insurance to cover lawyers and lawyers' fees on top of liability
lawyers
insurance.
Don't cover that. When the state attorney general's office will come knocking at your door for doing what you're doing, that's a whole different ballgame. The local cops and the local attorneys will run like hell because they're a bunch of pussies.
Are you asking me to not believe my attorney over you?
Here's what you need to do. When you go to the sheriff's website to look up these, they'll say, do you agree to these terms? It's right there in the middle, and it'll say, this is for personal use only. Do not repost it. Do not, blah, 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 blah. I can pull it up and read it to you if you want me to. It tells you, do not use this for what you're doing is illegal. It is a felony level. Now, do people know about this? Not too many people read those things, but I'm going to start informing all these sex offenders that you post on your website. I'm going to go on and knock on their door, hand them the piece of paper that shows them and tell them to start filing complaints against you and to go after you liability-wise. And when you start doing 5, 10, 15 of these in court, that's on you. More power to these people because I'm going to actually start helping them to come after you for people that keeps posting these people because it's a form of harassment. You're harassing these sex offenders. Yeah, they've done their time. They're sitting out in the public. They're doing what they're supposed to do. But when people bring this stuff to them and continue, that is a form of harassment, because some people do things that can end up in a criminal charge as additional, because if you say, oh, I don't want a sex offender next to me, and they go harm them, guess what? You're liable because you notified the public. That site's for the public. That is, anybody can go pull that up, but they don't post it and bring it to the public's knowledge. That's where you're crossing the line. So I'm going to start every one of you. Huh?
Is it okay if I talk yet?
Go ahead.
Okay. I don't want to argue with you. I just want to ask questions. You say you won a lawsuit with a journalist for $1.5 million.
Yes.
Is there a way that I can look up that civil suit to find out what you sued over and how you won?
No, because it's public information. If you want to go find out what state and county that was in, that's fine. If you want to do your homework.
I would like to, but how do I start?
Well, just find out who you actually talked to. I gave you my first name, but I'm not giving you my last name because I am actually no, I'm just because I know what's getting ready to come down, because I'm going to go knock on all these people's doors and give them the paperwork. I'm going to be sitting there watching you from the sideline, and I'm going to help them destroy you through legal means because of you harassing these people.
You know, I don't disagree with what the sheriff's website says to where I agree to the terms and conditions. We disagree on the interpretation of those words. That's
well, you need to go look into. You need to look at go talk to your attorney about that.
I have.
And what did he say?
He said that's not harassment.
It is a form of harassment. Who's your attorney? Because I would like to find. What do you got? One of these stupid fucks in Zanesville that don't know their head from a hole in the ground, or you got one of the Perry County worthless fucks?
I have multiple attorneys throughout the entire state of Ohio.
Oh, okay.
And my insurance covers me throughout the entire
Who's
state of Ohio.
Who's your insurance with? I hope you got damn good insurance, liability insurance, because once they catch wind, they are going to look at you like, hey, this is liability we don't want. But I don't want to know. I don't want to know. They'll just, huh?
I said I've spoken to them about those posts prior to me posting them.
No, you haven't. Most people don't.
Well, most of them don't run the Crooksville news. I'm a weirdo. I have questions.
Well, you're going to get yourself in some legal issues.
Well, I can only
on the sex offenders, you cannot legally post that stuff on your website. It's a form of harassment, and I will be sure to
call the sheriff over this. How about your local PD?
I'm not going. I'm going to go to the Attorney General's office.
You know, the Attorney General doesn't investigate these kinds of things.
Yes,
I know
they
that
do.
because I report on the Attorney General. I've spoken to the Attorney General. They don't do that.
No, the Attorney General has to, by law, investigate this because they're the ones that supersede the sheriff's departments on the registries. That goes through the Attorney General's office. Anytime a new sex offender comes in or on the record, you know what I'm saying, the local sheriff's department sends their paperwork or all the documentation to their case, sends it to the Attorney General's office. There's one special office there that goes through and says, hey, this is level 1, level 2, this person has to do this person has to do that. That's the office that will investigate the criminal side. There's a special team there that just handles sex offender registries or violent offender registries, because so that person that could be on that registry could be a violent offender or a sex offender. And you're putting everybody as a sex offender, which I've noticed you put some violent offenders as sex offenders when they're supposed to be violent offenders. But that's you knowing everything you're posting. You've opened yourself up to multiple lawsuits, and I went through your website or your Facebook site, and I documented everything, and I'm going to forward it on as a form of harassment because the comments people are saying underneath that is you're instigating a form of harassment on these offenders, which crosses the line.
So what is it exactly that dictates harassment versus non-harassment on my behalf?
You can read it as long as you don't post it. You posting it for other people comment, that starts instigating harassment. That's instigating a situation. That's when you post something that instigating that maybe not you directly, but it's instigating other people to harass them. So you're instigating a situation for that person to be harassed by the public.
It sounds like you're saying that I'm liable for other people's actions and not my own. Is that true?
Well, you instigated it. You instigated it by posting it. You created the instigation or the situation.
So if I post a local bank robber and then his family gets mad and robs another bank, I should be liable for that secondary bank robbery.
Okay, you can't.
I'm instigating. Remember, I'm instigating.
Two different situations. Now, if say Bobby Fred Joe went and raped somebody, you can post that. You can post current news, current action. But once you click on that and you post from that sex offender registry, that's where because they've already served their time. They've already been found guilty. They're finishing out whatever terms, conditions they have to do on that registry. Then you are doing is taken because they're on probation or whatever, and you're posting it and say, hey, public, this guy's still out here. He needs to be off the streets. He needs to whatever you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Crooksville, be aware. I mean, you're putting stuff out there for Mesquite County. You're putting stuff out there for Perry County, stuff that's not even in your Crooksville area. Okay? So that's where you are creating a situation for these people to be harassed by the public because you're posting their address out there. Now,
have you ever heard tell of the?
Huh?
Have you ever heard tell of the Perry County Tribune?
Yes.
Okay. Are you aware they post about things outside of Perry County as well?
Yes, I am aware of that, and they're actually being investigated right now too. You want to go ahead and laugh.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just listening to you, and you're showing. I don't want to say nothing offensive to you. I don't think you understand what the Attorney General does.
I know what there's several divisions of the Attorney General. I know what the Attorney General does. Okay. I'm one of 6 people in the United States that sued the Attorney General and won. I'm one of 6 people that sued a local judge. I'm one of 6 people that sued a local judge pro se and won.
Okay.
Okay. I know enough about the law.
But anyone can say that. But until I verify it, I can only assume that you're making it up.
Okay. Here. So if you want to try to figure out my name, go Google or ask AI or whoever you want to ask who have sued judges in the state of Ohio and successfully won. That will get you some homework to go look at because it is to sue a judge is kind of hard. You can only sue a judge under 3 rules. When they misappropriate funds, the public funds for a personal case. Okay, so if they say, hey, I'm going to take the county money to pay for this individual's marriage counseling, that's inappropriate funds. Okay, or if they cross the line and do something that's unethical, okay, that's another way they can be sued. Okay, those are the 2 big things that you can sue a judge on.
Yeah.
So when they inappropriately use public funds for a personal case, okay, that's the big thing. When they inappropriately use their duty, or the other one is called the color of law, when they're using their position as a judge to benefit or to use it without the proper. Here's a color of law is basically like a cop says, hey, I'm going to arrest you because I don't like the color shirt you have, without no true grounds to arrest somebody. He's just using his badge to arrest you. That's called the color law. Okay, and that's what a judge can also get sued for, is when they're inappropriately using their position to benefit something. Okay, and that's what you're doing, is using your position to harm or to have the public harass these sex offenders.
Am I asking the public to do anything specific because of this information?
You do when you post it. You intentionally bring drama, or what word am I trying to look? You're intentionally to bring situations to that person. You're posting the guy's address. You're posting everything about him. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you were to say, hey, McDonald was arrested on this day 2 years ago and he's continued to be a sex offender, or you put his outcome on it, that's something different. But when you're taking stuff from that website and posting it, that's where you cross the law into illegal and to unethical issues.
Okay, but if you say what my intention is posting sex offenders, what do you think that it is?
One, to intention to bring knowledge to the public for them to harass them.
All right, that's what you think my intention is. All right. Now,
what other intentions is there?
I was going to ask you, wouldn't it dawn on you to maybe ask me, sir, what is your intentions with these posts, rather than just
it's not what I think. Now, how many people get to call you and ask you, what's your intentions of polling this? When I look, and I'm looking on your Facebook site and say, oh, he's posting this to bring harassment just so I can harass this person. Or what is, when I look at your Facebook, I don't know what your intentions are.
How do you know?
I don't care. Because you're posting stuff out there just to bring attention to that individual. So the public will harass him, or that's what I see is, yeah, you're bringing attention so they know, hey, this person's out there, but it's a form of harassment because now that person's going to be, you know what I'm saying? He has enough dealing with the probation department, the sex offender registry department, and everything like that. He or she, whoever they are on the registry, don't need additional issues from the public come knocking on the door, throwing eggs at their house or whatever the public does, because I've seen it. I know what some of these people do, you know what I'm saying? And it's there. It's a form of harassment. That's all they have to believe, and prove different. Prove different you not did it to harass this individual.
How many years were you on the sex offender registry?
10 years.
Well, you asked me a little bit ago what would be another reason for posting that, and I can give you one if you're interested.
Go ahead. I'm listening to your side.
Okay. Because here's my honest reason, and I think it's important, is I post those to help prevent other victims when someone's searching for a babysitter. So, for example, if I need a babysitter and I contact my neighbor and I'm like, hey, neighbor, can you watch my kids while I go to the store? I can see that photo and see that name, like, oh, that person may not be a trustworthy person around my children.
That's the biggest crock of bullshit, because sex offenders know they're not supposed to be around children.
Wait a minute.
Sex offenders.
They know that?
Yes, they know that.
Okay. Do they know before they molest a child it's wrong to do it, or are they going to be told afterwards?
That is that you can't pull that don't mean nothing. Okay, so here's the thing is, okay.
So you can't say yes or no to that. So that answers my question.
No, they know better. 90% of people, now there are some mental illness people that have some issues, that have some mental health issues or whatever excuse that I'm not going to say. Yes, they should know better, correct, okay? But
so
here's the thing is.
Can we pause for one moment? Can we pause?
Go on.
Because I have okay. Because the point is of course they know better, but that doesn't mean they're not going to do it, because you've seen some of these guys offend 2, 3, 4, 5 times. That doesn't mean they know better.
But here's the thing,
Why would we trust the sex offender?
So here's okay. So your excuse is, I'm putting it out there so the neighbor knows, hey, he's a sex offender. I'm not going to allow him to babysit my kids. But here's the thing is, I have kids, okay? And anybody that is around my kids, I've already went to that website and say, okay, I have A, B, C, D in living in my neighborhood. I know my kids. Say, hey, kids, you're not allowed at these areas. You know what I'm saying? So that's something I do as a parent. Most parents know about that, but what you're doing is a crock of bullshit excuse saying I'm notifying because in case there's a babysitter. No. The thing about it is all neighbors know where their sex offenders live already because they receive a letter from the sheriff's department. You know what I'm saying?
When does that happen?
The sheriff's department.
My neighbor is a tier 3 sex offender. My neighbor, and I've been here for 25 years. I've never received a letter ever.
So why haven't you reached out to your sheriff's department and say, hey,
and they said they don't have to. They said go to the website. That's where you and I are going to disagree. Because show me this letter. And I'll actually post about it.
Hold on.
If anybody in Crooksville has received a letter, notify Crooksville News. I'll make that post, and I'll bet you not one person will show me.
Okay, so here's the thing. Just because Perry County Sheriff is a worthless piece of shit, and he is, okay, because I've been dealing with him on another level that I've been actually filing a complaint against with the Attorney General's office because he's allowed an illegal gun range to be open in my back door, okay? So I've been fighting the Sheriff's County on that bullshit, and it's like, we don't care because the Sheriff's Department is crooked. You know what I'm saying? They're a good old boy town. They shake each other's hand and fuck everybody else. So, but just because they don't do those notifications, they say go to the website. That's what that website's for. But that don't give you permission to post it on your Facebook site. Okay?
Have you received notification of a local sex offender? Like a letter in the mail from the Sheriff's Department?
Yeah, because I live in Mesquite County, yes.
Okay. Now, Mesquite County I don't know as much about, so you could inform me. But do you have a copy, or you can send me a picture? Because I've never seen one. No,
it's just a piece of paper and say, hey, he's moved in the area. It gives his name, his charge. It's basically almost the same thing that you got, but it's on a
without a photo or something.
Yeah, basically, and just say, hey, by the way, this. Basically, it's the same thing on the Sheriff's website, but they mail it out
I've heard of this. I've heard of this. I've just never talked to them
because they have to do certain level tier offenders. Lifetime, there's 3 or 4 different tier level. You know what I'm saying? One 10 years, 25 years, lifetime, or whatever, and they have the different requirements to register once a year, every 6 months, or every month, or every quarter. I don't keep up with that shit. You know what I'm saying? So there's different levels requirement of this. Okay. So, but when you're sitting there posting stuff, people, it harms them at their work because they come in and say, oh, you're that sex offender. I don't want to buy here now. Even though that person may be a good person, he may be trying, but because you posted something and it has their work address on there and his home address on there, it follows him to everybody because, oh, I just saw your face on Facebook. You're a sex offender. I don't want to buy here. Well, you just hurt, not because you hurt him, you hurt the person that owns that business because he's given that person an opportunity to work in this life. Because if they aren't working, that means they're out causing trouble or they're out there sponging off us on welfare. So I'd rather see somebody out there trying to make it and work and doing what they're supposed to do and answer to the probation department and the sex offender department and comply with all those that way, and not people out here harassing them by posting their picture on Facebook. What did that guy do you, the one you posted earlier today? What did he do to you today for you to do that? What did he do to you today?
I received an email from the Sheriff's Department saying there's a new sex offender in town, and that's what I did.
You just took it upon yourself.
Yes.
You took it upon yourself to post it.
Yes. I always have, and I always will. I cannot be stopped.
You can be stopped. I can guarantee you.
No, it can't be stopped.
Yeah, what? I mean, yeah.
Because my dead body would stop. That's a fact, but I can always start another Facebook account, as I have many. Like, I'm not going to stop. You know what I mean? It's impossible.
Well, the thing about it is, it's a good way to get some liability insurance. I mean, not liability, but some criminal charges against you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that wouldn't stop me either.
What? Picking up? It's a felony level for harassment.
That doesn't scare me the slightest.
I mean, the one you posted today, so you say he lives in Crooksville.
I didn't say that. I've never commented about a single sex offender ever.
Well, he's from Michigan. You know what I'm saying? So
I post a disclaimer. I post basic information. I use the snapshots to show what the sheriff is showing. I do not show.
I'm on your site. It says Crooksville News shares this information from officially public source, including state, local sex offender registry, to help keep our community informed and aware. This public is for public awareness only and is not intended to be shamed, harassed, intended So let me see. That's that one. That was there shortly. That's only been an hour old. Let me go find one of your others. Some of these comments I've seen.
Are you going to blame me for comments now, or?
No, I'm just going to blame you for this guy's harassed. You know what I'm saying?
Am I harassing him or somebody else harassing him?
It goes through you. You're equally responsible. If somebody harasses them, you're equally responsible. No,
yeah.
Okay, hypothetically. Let me ask you this, and you know this.
Sure.
Okay? You know this as how many times this happened. Let's say this is a hypothetical story. I'm making this up. So that way, if you're recording this, okay, that way I'm clarifying this is just a hypothetical story, okay? Let's say I am going to go blow something up, and you are aware of it, and you did not do anything. And the cops find out that said, hey, you were aware that this guy was going to go blow this thing up, and you did not report it. You can be held criminally just responsible for my actions for not reporting it. Just like all these parents are getting held responsible right now for these school shootings, the one down in Texas where he was just found guilty of 45 charges because he was told about his son, possible dangers with a weapon. He did nothing to stop it, and he was found guilty just for knowing about it of 45 felonies because he did not do anything to stop his son from posing. So you are guilty associating, if anybody caused any of these sex offenders harm by your post, you're just as guilty because you created it. And that's the law because these people are going to hold these people, third-party people involved. You know what I'm saying? Just like if I was sitting in a car, you go robbed it, and I did not know, and you got into the car and we drove off, I'm guilty because assisting you in a robbery. You know that shit happens all the time. Or if you got in my car with drugs and I drove down the road and we got pulled over and there's drugs in the car, even though they are your drugs, I'm still liable because they're in my car. Even though I have nothing to do with them, you know it's association to the crime. So good luck. I will fill out their forms, talk to the Attorney General's office. I wish you the best luck and good luck because I'm going to start contacting these sex offenders and tell them how to file complaints against you for harassment. Have a good day. I got to go.